Very briefly, want to go over amendment number 4 that'll be on the ballot on December 7th, 2024, and why it definitely should be a vote no for amendment number 4, which seeks to completely gut the current tax sale process and turn it into a tax lien process. And what does this mean, right? It's important to vote no for amendment number 4 because this can literally be the difference between you or your family member having a home in 5 years and not having a home in 5 years, point blank, right? When we look at the ballot amendment, that should be the first red flag. If you look at the way that the ballot amendment is going to be read on the actual ballot, it's going to read in part, do you support an amendment to eliminate mandatory tax sales for non-payment of property taxes? This just may be the most misleading ballot amendment of all times, right? Because it's not eliminating a tax sale process. It's actually gutting the protections that are in place for residents in this city and this state when it comes to tax sales, right? Right, Jay, what are the protections you keep referring to, right? Well, the protections that I keep referring to, these are protections that are located in Title 47 of the revised statutes of Louisiana, the procedure in which tax sales must be administered. When a tax sale notice, pre-tax sale notice must be sent to a property owner. When post-tax sale notice must be sent to a property owner. When a tax sale must be advertised in the newspaper prior to the tax sale. You know, what dates they must be advertised, right? All of these things, even though it doesn't blatantly say, hey, these are protections for the property owner, these are actually protections for you, the residents of the city of New Orleans and the state of Louisiana. Amendment number 4 wants to gut that entirely. The way that this protects you is because if your property does go to a tax sale, right, you have 3 years to redeem it, but let's say it goes outside those 3 years, right? Well, now the tax sale purchaser has a lot of leverage. They can go to the court and try to take ownership of your home, right? Well, here's where your defense comes in. Your Honor, they did not comply, or the city of New Orleans did not comply with this section of Title 47. They didn't advertise properly. They didn't send notice properly. They didn't send notice prior to the expiration of the redemptive period properly. They didn't send notice to my aunt, who was an owner, properly. They didn't do any of these things. This has in itself caused and allowed many people to prevent the loss of their properties in the courts because they're able to find something that is procedurally defective in the tax sale process, right? And it should be a very stringent process. It should be a lot of yellow tape and you know, a maze that you have to go through to send someone property to a tax sale because it's a very serious process, right? We're talking about a process that can ultimately lead to someone losing their home, right? So it should be a stringent process. What amendment number 4 is saying, in essence, is we want to just completely delete everything in Title 47 having to do with a tax sale. And we want to do this, what's called a tax lien now. And what is a tax lien? Well, a tax lien will automatically allow delinquent property taxes to constitute a lien and privilege against the tax debtor's property. What does that mean, right? Have you ever seen a code enforcement lien, right? What they'll do is they'll fine the property owner, they'll put a code enforcement lien against the property. If they demolish a property owner's property, they'll put a demolition lien and record it against the property. These are liens and privileges, right? What it does is it protects the obligation that is owed to the city of New Orleans, right? It protects it because if you don't pay it, they're going to use that lien to send your property to a sheriff's sale auction to sell the property to the highest bidder so that they can collect on their obligation. Got it? So when they turn tax sales into tax liens, this is what they are looking to do. They're looking to gut the protections, the yellow tape, and they're saying, we're going to make this a tax lien process, and we're going to allow delinquent taxes to automatically constitute a lien and privilege on the property owner's property. We don't have to deal with the yellow tape. We don't have to deal with the notice requirements in the state constitution. We don't have to deal with any of these protections that have been in the state constitution since 1974 and has been revised a few times since then. But we don't have to comply with any of this no more. We're going to create a whole new set of laws. And we're not even going to tell you what they exactly are just yet. So another reason you should be very concerned and vote no against Amendment number 4 is because you have no idea how long the redemptive period is for a property owner to come back and redeem a tax lien. Right now, we know it's a 3-year period, right? But when we start to look at this new process that they have not given us a definite time frame on how long it is a property owner can redeem this tax lien, it can be 6 months. It can be 1 year. Because once you gut the protections that are afforded in the Constitution, which is what Amendment 4 would do, it gives the state legislature the opportunity to present a whole new process, a whole new redemption period, right? So now instead of 3 years, we might have a process where your protections are gone, right? For the tax sale, you can't annul a tax sale based on procedural defects. And you also don't know how long it's going to be until you can redeem this tax lien. It may be 6 months, where most people think is 3 years. So imagine how many people, especially in the beginning of implementing this, is going to believe that it's a 3-year redemption period still. But no, the legislature makes it 6 months. How many people are going to lose their property because they don't even understand that it's going to be 6 months or 1 year because it's a new tax lien process, right? It's a land grab. It's a land grab. It's a Trojan horse. And anyone who is for or advocate for residents of the city or residents of the state, if you're a housing advocate, look, you should definitely be voting against Amendment number 4. It should definitely be a vote no. And I understand that this is a very niched area. It's an area that many people who are in real estate or in housing may not understand fully. But I invite anyone who may be in housing who may not be clear on the effects of Amendment number 4. I'll be happy to speak with you. I'll be happy to further explain it to you because it's not about me being right. It's about getting it right. And if we don't get it right, I'm telling you right now, Amendment number 4 will be one of the biggest land grabs in the state of Louisiana, and it will cause people to lose property at even a more massive pace than they already are, right? And this is my reason for why Amendment number 4, you should vote against it this Saturday, December 7th, 2024.